Today, with the Meta Economist TV, we are ready to interview Meredyth Willits from Chicago. So, welcome, Meredyth, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to talk to you today about this topic. I think it's great.
Okay, thanks. Meredyth is a life coach in Chicago, and she's doing a little, using this context of the technology and Web3 and cryptocurrencies. We wanted to talk to her just to make sure that these new technologies are going the good direction. So first question is how your passion to life coaching is connected some way with these new technologies.
Well, I think the one thing that we first need to talk to is how we're connecting people from around the globe, be it by way of social media or Zoom calls or whatever the platform is. We are really starting to meld information and technologies, self-help, all of these things together, which I think is huge. 10 years ago, you could not get and gain access to information or people without attending a college or a university or even a doctorate program. And so now, in the face of all of this shared information, we're really able to branch out to more and more people from around the globe that have different ways of life or different ways of religion or whatever that is, and bringing everyone together under kind of one platform, which is, this metaverse.
So, Meredyth, you're saying that the good point is that we are more connected, but there are some negative points that are the way we are all more alone doing this connection.
Yeah, I do believe that people lean into social media for, community and connection, which is great. But a lot of times that also creates this false sense of community and this false sense of connection where being in person really cannot be replaced. And so, the days of going to maybe a church or a synagogue to find that connection or meeting with family and friends in a social setting is really being replaced by likes and comments and, scrolling through a platform or even Zoom. Sometimes Zoom is great. I connect with a lot of my clients from around the world by way of Zoom, which is fantastic because I am touching people and vice versa from around the globe with helping them. However, there is a time and place for a Zoom call or, that type of connection, but there's also needs to be a place for reaching out and touching someone, going to lunch, and really being inside of the space of an actual human being instead of just being on your phone. So there's no replacement for that human connection, but at the same time, there's also positives, but we can't completely lean into social media and being in the metaverse.
Okay, so what are the consequences of the immersive technologies like the metaverse? And when we say metaverse, we're not meaning the new era of social media, but these areas, these virtual areas where you can experience the connection with someone else, or buying something, or visiting a museum or something like that. What are the consequences of this virtual reality for the human society?
Well, recently I've noticed that we are able to kind of turn ourselves into these avatars. I don't know if you've seen the apps that you plug in your picture or your face and it creates this beautiful avatar of you, of an already very beautiful person, but it's almost like the ultimate filter, right? And as I was looking at them the other day, I started to kind of get sad about the idea that we're turning ourselves into these very perfect non-human beings that are then going to go out into the metaverse and reach out and connect with other avatars that are perfect, that have the perfect features or the perfect lips, the perfect hair and outfit and body. And it kind of diminishes the, the fact that we're humans, we have flaws. And I would guess that we're headed into a direction where people are going to become more comfortable inside of their avatar and their perfection instead of their humanity. And we can be whoever we want in the metaverse, but that doesn't mean that it's an actual representation of who we are as humans, which then can lead to, am I good enough? Or are my flaws and my humanity enough? And so we might decide we always want to live inside of that metaverse space because we can be whoever we want to. We can be the hero. We can be the person with the perfect body, versus, going out into the real world and connecting with humans inside of our flawed human avatar. So there can be a disconnect with reality and the beauty of humanity versus this false sense of reality. But I think that as we've moved through the 2.0 and we're moving into the 3.0 of technology, we've seen and we've gone through the trials and the tribulations and too much screen time and get outside and play to our kids, right? We try to push them out the door to go play with friends. And so I think that we just need to find the balance, and I believe that we will.
And so thinking about also the pros of these new technologies, do you think the metaverse technologies can improve the world economy in some way?
Absolutely. I, being on social media, connect with a lot of people that are either, they could be shut-ins, they could be disabled. They don't have the finances or the funds to get in a car and go to, like you were saying, the local museum or be able to fly to Paris or whatever around the globe. But because of this experience where you can use virtual reality and visit these places and see the art or whatever, the landscape, and because it's brought to you in such a real way, there are definitely benefits for a lot of people that don't have the ability physically or financially to visit these places. And again, it is also bringing
the inclusion side, right? The inclusion side.
Yes, it includes. I mean, if you have the ability to get online and you have the ability to go anywhere in the world, and we've seen that since the beginning of even Google Earth, and it's exploring in different ways. And with the global economy of cryptocurrency, it is really bringing together the financial importance of a global economy, of global connection, instead of just being focused on the country that you live in or what you need as a person or as in a community. That we now are going to have to lean into the currency of the entire planet and the health of the entire planet, both within crypto, in the financial realm, or also in the mental health or physical health realm. We're all connected as one.
So, Meredyth, you mentioned the cryptos, and I wanted to ask you something about. I know you have a personal relationship now. We talked about your professional approach to the technology. So, as a life coach, you have this good, let's say, framework between with technology. It has a value or a role in this modern society. But I wanted to ask you something personal. And what is your relationship with the cryptocurrencies?
So a few years ago, I decided to kind of dip my toe into Bitcoin, and I kind of look at crypto right now as like a really great opportunity to dive into something I'm not 100% sure on. And every day it feels like there's a great article coming out about how amazing crypto is, or it could be even negative. So when I look at the way I invest in crypto, I usually let my husband do the research on it. But I try to put monies into crypto that it won't destroy me if I lose it. So even if it's
So it's an
$300.
husband-wife business.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of look at crypto like, if I lose this $300, is it going to crush me? If the answer is no, then I'm investing. Back when Doge got huge, I think that we put in $500 while eating pizza at a local pizza joint, and it went up to $27,000. And my son called and said, sell. And of course, I had visions of grandeur, and now it's down to like $2,000 and I never sold it. So, you have to be willing to take that ride on that roller coaster right now, because it's not something that is set in stone, and that's okay. So when I look at crypto, I say, like, be willing to ride it out as with the stock market, be willing to not emotionally invest too much into it, because it is so volatile, and one right tweet or post or whatever can change the valuation of what you own. And you have to be okay with that right now.
Okay, so it was really a pleasure to have you, Meredyth, and we're always in research someone that has her and his personal point of view of the metaverse and the cryptocurrencies and what we call the meta economies. So our followers every follower knows that we want to make a new approach with this a new economy that we are living in. So thank you a lot, Meredyth, and say hello to Chicago for us. And I invite you more and more just to write down something or make a comment. So really was a pleasure to have you in this interview.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been absolutely lovely connecting with you and all your viewers. So thank you for having me. And it's freezing here in Chicago in the Windy City, but I'm glad we got to connect today.
Okay.